All right, call the meeting to order. Kelly, if you'll take roll call.
Peter Boyer, Mayor.
Present.
Alan Martin, Council.
Present.
Tim Ficken, Council.
Present.
Dan Zabrowski, Council.
Present.
Everyone rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Well,
There it is, Mike. I was
Thank
wondering
you.
where it was.
I was a little worried there.
Oh.
Well, Joy, welcome to the party. We're gonna jump right in, but this can be a little nerve-wracking. I've been through it myself, actually. That was how I first got on council. I got appointed, so I had to go through the interview process. And actually, Tim has been too, has been through the process. So just, try to forget about the people behind you and just focus on talking to council and just, don't let your nerves get the best of you. It's not a right or wrong answer. It's, what you think's best. And so, and we do appreciate you coming out tonight and interviewing and, your interest in the council seat. So with that, we will just jump right in if you're cool with that.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So, what motivated you to seek appointment to this open town council seat?
That's a great question. I need to take a breath. I am a little nervous. So I believe wholeheartedly that my purpose in life is to serve God and serve fellow man. And I feel like being a part of Bartow Town Council, I'm able to serve in a capacity that I wouldn't normally be able to serve my community. I have wanted to be on town council for a few years. We live in off of Inca Trail. We lived there almost 10 years now. And I've always wanted to do this, but I've had small children. And then I started going through a PhD program, which took up pretty much all of the free time for the last few years. I completed my PhD in July. And now my kids are 8 and 10. And so they're a little bit older. Not as needy. And I feel like this is a good time to put my.
Excellent. Well, appreciate that.
A lot of work. Get a PhD bond with raising 3 kids as well. Are there any work or personal commitments that would prevent you from regularly attending town council meetings?
No. Actually starting my own consulting business, the grant consulting business. So I do that during the day and then my evenings are open. And I'm married, so my husband can take care of the kids.
And then sub question that, would you also be available to attend town council events as in volunteer appreciation day, Easter egg hunt, that kind of thing?
July 4th, Christmas stuff. What else do we have? We got lots.
Not 100%. I mean, we don't all attend everything.
Right. Just
To get to what we can.
I already go to those anyways because of my kids.
I never go because I work too much.
nice. All right. Well, perfect. And you're up. You need me to tell you a number?
Thank you. That's tough to keep up. You know me. All right. Do you have any actual or potential conflicts of interest that could arise if you are appointed to this position?
You know what that means?
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't really foresee any.
I'd be like, if you were invested in land and wanted to develop it, you'd have to recuse yourself from stuff like that, but
Pretty simple. Look out here, help the community, want to contribute.
Perfect.
Awesome. What are your thoughts on current or upcoming town projects? For example, rezoning areas of town, police department needs, road projects, things of the sort.
Really interested in the police department and how that's going to operate. Specifically like how you're going to get funding, what that means to the community members around here. Yeah, I'm very interested in it. Very nervous.
Cool. If appointed, what would be your top priority as a council member?
Again, probably the police department.
Fair enough.
Doing what with it? Just kidding.
the daily operations of it, probably figuring out, like, again, funding, how you're gonna fund police officers, how many police officers are gonna be involved. Because safety is a huge thing. That's one of the benefits of living out here, is that it is very safe for my family. You know, I keep that safety.
Awesome.
Do you have any experience preparing, reviewing, or overseeing a budget? And if so,
Yes,
Hello?
I have a lot of experience in budget creation, management. My whole work career has been working in nonprofits and grant writing. So I'm very familiar with budgets and.
Awesome. So you do grant writing? Kelly, you hear that?
We're just in now. Kidding. All right. What do you believe are the most pressing fiscal issues facing the town, and how do you think resources should be allocated to address?
Maybe split that up. That's a pretty,
Okay,
so what do you think the most pressing fiscal issue is?
Not entirely sure. Probably, again, funding the police department. That's a big oversight.
and I guess, so in that, because that is, definitely a main expenditure that we're looking to step into. Down the size, the argument is at time. So that second part of the question, do you think resources should be allocated to address this specific issue? I guess it's kind of a loaded question, but
Yes, I definitely feel that resources should be allocated. Like I mentioned previously, safety is still living out here. I don't want people to take advantage of the fact that we don't have patrolling law enforcement like we used to. Out here and start, breaking into cars and breaking into houses and things like that. So
But Joy, how do you envision the town's future and growth? For example, should there be a focus on attracting new businesses or maintaining the town's current character, or a balance of both? If you could say, what's your dream of seeing development or growth in Bar None, what does that look like for you?
that's kind of a tricky question. I would like to see it grow and mostly maintain. I don't want it to get too big. Like the small nature of the town is what drew me to live here.
hard to do both, isn't it?
It is. It's hard to do both. Like, honestly, I would have loved to have seen a grocery store. I know you probably could get that a lot. But since Family Dollar came in, that's taken a huge burden. So if we forgot milk, we can just run down to Family Dollar and get the milk. Or if the kids get sick and we need cold medicine, we don't have to go all the way to Walmart to get that. So I think right now maintaining growth, and then on the plus side, maintaining growth is going to be important, especially since school is closing and a lot of families might be moving out of the community because they want to be closer to the school. So
Good, that's a good catch. When faced with a controversial issue, how do you approach gathering information and making a decision?
well, I would start out with going into it as judgment-free as possible because I don't know every situation or every scenario. And I would gather as much information as I could from various people before making any kind of decision. I try not to be impulsive in major decisions, especially if they're controversial.
You good, man? Yeah.
And can you provide an example of how you have handled criticism or a disagreement in the past?
One situation comes up, this was a long time ago. I was pretty young in my career. And my direct supervisor, we were in a meeting. He started like yelling at me in this meeting. And I did not know how to handle that situation. I kind of I sat there and took it. But I'm 23 years old and this, 50-year-old man is yelling at me. And so I started crying because I didn't know what to do. Super embarrassed. And I actually had to go to my office to take some time. And then after it like calmed down a little bit, I went up to him and I was basically like, I feel this way when you do this. Like I feel like garbage when you yell at me in front of people. I don't deserve that treatment. If you can't have a conversation with me like a normal person, then I will excuse myself until you calm down.
We take that.
He was like kind of taken aback a little bit. He had a history in behavioral health, so he was a counselor. And so when I came to him that way, he was like, "Oh, I didn't realize."
Sweet irony.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was treating you that way, and so the relationship actually grew from there. We had some hiccups here and there, but when he would treat me that way, I would say, "Hey, you're doing it again." Great place when we have conversations.
All right. Can you describe a time you had to make an unpopular, popular, or difficult decision for long-term benefit?
So in the past, I've worked in healthcare. And I was the director of quality actually. And so I'd have to implement a lot of new initiatives, especially to healthcare providers that were not happy with new change. I would validate their feelings, change is hard for anybody, especially when you have a busy schedule. But it needed to be done for the benefit of the organization. So I let them kind of take it out on me, like vent a little bit. And I said, I'm sorry that you guys feel this way, but it still needs to be done this way. And they ended up doing it. They still grumbled, but it is what it is. The health of the organization or the health of the town comes first.
Yeah. This is kind of a piggyback on that one. Also, as a wife and mother, though you can't treat people like children, the principles of human relationships they span across multiple different categories. So how do you balance listening to individual concerns while making decisions that are best for the whole community?
I think validation comes into that. Validating that you're being heard. My kid, I understand that this might suck for you, but we still need to do it this way. I'm sorry that you don't want to pick up your room right now. Clean before electronics. So I think setting boundaries is important and following through with the boundaries. But so while validating feelings as well. People just want to be heard.
Fair. What qualities or experience make you the best candidate for this position?
So I hold a master's in healthcare administration with a specialization in innovative change management. So I focus a lot on strategic planning, things like that. I have a lot of experience with budgets. I'll be completely honest, I do not have any experience sitting on any kind of council or board. And then my PhD is in business administration and industrial organizational psychology. So I have a lot of education that has dealt with leadership. I've been in leadership roles in my work career. But again, I'll be completely honest, I don't have any experience sitting on board, but.
Well, that's an automatic disqualifier. No, you're good. Okay, awesome.
But I'm assuming you've been part of a lot of committees.
Yeah.
In healthcare, if you're in those types of roles, you probably have a good, a lot of.
Yeah, when I was the director of quality, I ran continuous quality improvement meetings. We do Lean Six Sigma initiatives, things like that. So I have a lot of experience managing diverse groups of people and doing work projects and getting things done.
If appointed, how would you plan to get up to speed on your responsibilities as a council member?
One would be to go back through and start reading a lot of the minutes, asking questions. I'm a quick study. I'll be the first to admit that I don't always have the answers to every question, but I know how to find the answers. So do some research.
Yeah, you can't ever forget too, you
Yeah.
have a lot of experience here that can help you out too.
Next.
Yeah, man.
What information do you believe residents most often feel they lack? And what do you think is the most effective way to communicate that information? That was kind of tough.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel as a resident, I'm pretty informed on things that are happening. We get newsletters through the mail. There's bulletin boards by the mailboxes. I don't personally have social media, but I'm sure there's social media. So I personally don't feel like there's a lack there. Like I feel like I'm pretty informed on what's happening. I felt like it was very transparent during the time they were thinking about bringing nuclear power or nuclear waste management, whatever it was, the nuclear facility where people were freaking out. I thought that was pretty transparent. There was a lot of information behind it. Fiber optics coming to town. That's my husband super excited for, and we got a lot of information about that and what to expect with digging in our yards. We have shark in our front yard, so I'm like, how are they gonna do that? Yeah, they tunnel. So I felt like there was adequate information. I don't feel like blocking.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We try to be transparent.
I think we do a
And
good
that's
job.
without having social media.
Yeah, that was-
Maybe we should, never mind, go ahead.
That's good. I believe you answered this already. Have you previously served on any governing body, board, or committee? You answered that you served on lots of different leadership committees in your work and in your field. So.
Yeah.
So this is more of a, I don't know how to phrase this, it's more of a personal question, but it's a philosophical question. That's good, I like that. We're gonna wax philosophical for a second. If selected, you will swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. And what does that oath mean to you personally?
That is an oath I take very seriously. I would say that I'm a patriot. I believe in the Constitution. I believe it should be followed. I'm not much of a rule breaker. That's probably one of the character defects I have. I don't have a lot of gray area. I do have black and white. So if I swear an oath to the Constitution, that's what I would like to follow the Constitution. So I take it very seriously.
I get the best question. It's the last question.
Okay.
Do you have any questions for us? Maybe you're supposed to reverse.
Yeah.
Put us on the spot.
Yeah.
What is the most difficult part about sitting as a council member?
That's a good question. I don't know. Man. I wasn't even prepared. Multiple of our questions lead to it, and that is, and we've talked about this a lot this past year, leadership is really hard because even if you make a great decision, 20% of your people may not like it. So it's trying to figure out, are you actually making the right decision while keeping quiet the noise in your mind and the feedback that you get. So yeah, how do you listen to someone's personal feelings when you still think that listening to them doesn't change the outcome of the decision, but yet not writing them off. So to me, that's the hardest part, is you care about everybody, but not everybody can agree with your decision. So that's very challenging. Yeah, it's a good burden. It's a good tension. So
That's good answer. That's about what I was gonna say. I think you guys got anything?
I would just say, that's the realization of a public servant, right? It's your stewards for the people that you're over. So if just like, you know, if you have employees at a job, it's your job to provide for them, but they don't always like you because some of those decisions that you've got to make for, like you said, for that organization, speaking of those positions as a quality director, you're not gonna be popular all the time, and, you have to be okay with that. I think if you're a parent, you're obviously know what that's like, so it's easier to do. It's, but I found it's a lot more difficult with adults, because, well, it's you really do have the best intentions, and it doesn't always come off that way, but you have to learn to be okay with that, because you know your character and who you are and what you do, so you gotta just kind of, I don't know. Let's go. Honestly, do your best. That's all I can. Yep. But I absolutely love being on council. I do. Yeah. I sat for it like you're doing tonight, and it's been one of the most difficult things I've ever done, but I've loved every minute of it.
Well, that brings me to my next question. What's the most rewarding part of sitting on council?
Building Minecrafts in the backyard. I mean, doing stuff like,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
just, it's
being
cool.
part, you know, my take on it was, I've been involved in Wyoming politics for 12 or 13 years, and a lot of it activist political stuff. And so coming on the council to begin with, it was pretty quiet until the radio thing came on. But until that showed up, I got kind of back into the hard political realm. It was nice, just being part of helping manage a community and you know, just how the operations of the community go. I've lived out here 20 years, been a part of the politics of it a little bit once in a while, but you know, I mostly dealt with down in Cheyenne, but it was nice sitting here starting in that. Now, when the radio thing came along, that goes back to you know, it's hard finding your temperament, especially for somebody like me, because of being in political 20 years. Been a part of the politics of it a little bit once in a while, but you know, I mostly dealt with down in Cheyenne, but it was nice sitting here starting in that. Now, when the Radiant thing came along, that goes back to you know, it's hard finding your temperament, especially for somebody like me, because of being a political activist and dealing with those that didn't agree with that. You know, when I had a strong position of where I was at, and then, you know, that battle, as heated as that got, that was probably the toughest I've had to deal with the political realm in the last 12 to 13 years in this state. It was tough, but I think we all learned a lot from it, and I hope we've all grown from it. So if there's another event come up, I think we'll be better.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I think
We'll try to weather it as best as we can. You know, for me, I think, so I have a little bit different perspective because I'm the mayor, and so there's more expected and there's more responsibility that I carry. No offense, guys. Sorry, don't take it that way, but
You can have it.
but it's time management is one of the harder things. It has forced me to schedule things, write things down. I was always really bad about that in the past, and now I have to write things down. I have to have a book.
He's got a notebook.
I got a notebook there where I write things down, and I've got a list of tasks that I have to do and I have to get done. And it's forced me to at least organize my life somewhat. Now, if you go into my room, or well, our room, wife happens to live in there too. My dresser doesn't look like it, but it has helped me actually organize. As for the best part of this job, one of my best memories is other than I love the 4th of July parades. They're great. I'm glad people don't throw things back at me. I get to throw candy out and not get eggs thrown back. But the best part for me was this last Easter. There had to have been 100 kids out there. And I got to tell all the kids, all right, ready, 3, 2, 1, go, and just watch all the bar none kids run and go pick up Easter eggs. And there's a young man that I recognize him because we go to church with him. And he didn't have anything. So he just took and tucked in his shirt and he ran out there and he was just dumping the eggs down his shirt. And it just, and then that's a great memory. But then on top of that, at the end of it, you know, we told everyone, hey, we need you to pack up the eggs. And they did. Everybody cracked them open, took the candy out, put all the eggs away, and we had no cleanup. And that was amazing. That was amazing. So it was a great experience. Anyway,
My favorite part of being on council is watching the town enjoy things that are direct. The consequences usually negative, but direct results of our decisions, and they have absolutely no idea we made them. Like the amazing parks, splash pad, turfing, everything, upgrade, all the stuff that our town constantly loves. They have no idea that that was a council decision. It's rewarding to know that even if it's behind the scenes, you're creating a better life for people. That's fun.
And the hard work of staff.
Yeah.
And they do a lot.
Well, we do a lot more, but
we're gonna we do. Bring with the staff.
Forgive me, Tyler. Stepped out of my lane.
not kidding.
Perfect. Anything else?
I've got everything.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for being here. And yeah, you're
I guess what's the next steps of the process?
perfect. So what we'll do is, I mean, it says executive session on here, but then we go in and we deliberate, and we probably won't make a decision tonight. I usually like to sleep on a major decision like this. So, you know, kind of let it stew up in the old brain for a little while. And then we'll kind of come together, commiserate on who we decide, and then we'll let you know. And then hopefully by this next Tuesday, we'll have someone that we'll have picked. And so we'll either let you know yay or nay is basically what it'll come down to. And so it'll probably be, I would say, on Monday, we'll let you know, and then yeah, we'll move on from there.
People suffer all weekend.
Well, me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, incredible. Thank you.
Peter decided to update halfway through your interview and shut everything down.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was a distraction.
Huh?
Was it recorded? Oh, bummer.
Sorry. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes. Have a good evening.
Thanks. Who's next?
Shorter too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Every Sunday we have.
Perfect.
Yes.
We're gonna ask their opinion.
Mhm.
Here.
It's not there.
Okay.
You can if you want to. Do you want to? I can put it on the agenda. I have that power.
That's right.
Howdy.
Hello.
Up here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You're the man of the app.
Water. I wasn't sure.
We even gave you an extra one, so feel free to take it if you want to.
You know,
Well, I assume you're Matt Boyles.
that's me. Yep.
Oh, Matt Boyles. Nice to meet you. I'm Mayor Peter Boyer. This is Tyler Martin.
Dan.
Dan, thank you. Dan Sabrowski and Tim Ficken, council members.
Easily I'm forgotten.
From the last
Yep, I
applied,
remember your face.
and I know Thicken from one of my deliveries that I always do.
Yeah, yeah.
Right on.
So, yeah,
Well, welcome to the party. So you've been through this before, so I don't need to belabor the point with any kind of formalities. So I guess we could just jump right in and get going on it if everybody's ready.
Yep.
All right. So what motivated you to seek appointment to this open town council seat?
well, I traditionally haven't been involved in politics in any way or been involved in any of this stuff. And so I wanted to change that. I felt like, you know, I've lived in this town basically my entire life. I went to elementary school here, moved away briefly in junior high and high school, and then I bought a house when I was 20 something. So I love this town and, you know, just want to be involved if possible is the basics of it. Well,
there any work or personal commitments that would prevent you from regularly attending town council?
Will that always be in the evening?
First and third Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
I should always be available.
We almost always have work sessions at 6 o'clock though, especially during budget season.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I didn't think
Yeah.
about that at the last.
So, like,
So when we do budget, it does get pretty labor intensive. So we'll do usually almost every Tuesday until we're done, starting in like usually April. So I wish I would have, I mean, I think Joy will be okay. But, yeah, so just so you know, and those usually start at 6 on like off weeks, off of council. And so we can go for sometimes 2 hours to go
we've
through.
gotten a
budget.
lot quicker budget because it's,
Yeah.
it's very organized now, the same way every time, every year. So, but that's
Anyway.
using, because this is a June, July fiscal year. Since it's government, so we close into fiscal year June 30th. So that's why it was probably weird thinking, why are you doing budget session in May? That's why.
Okay.
Yeah. And then would you be available to attend town events like 4th of July, Volunteer Appreciation Day, Easter things? You don't have to, but we try to have a presence there.
Yeah, I would say most of that.
Cool.
My job won't interfere because I start early in the morning, so by the time evening rolls around, I would be past overtime. So, yeah, that shouldn't interfere at all.
Perfect.
Do you have any actual or potential conflicts of interest that could arise if you are appointed to this position?
Oh,
Answer.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on current or upcoming town projects? The most recent one would be passed is this town hall building, but also rezoning certain areas, police department, road projects. Any thoughts you have on current or upcoming projects?
Yeah, various opinions on a lot of stuff. Generally, I'm fiscally really conservative. I'm a homeowner, so I'm always looking on the side of cutting costs and trying to do things in the least expensive way possible. But I'm really open to a lot of new stuff. I was just talking to Steve out there about the new police station and the fact that we'll have a police force, and it sounds like something that might actually be beneficial to the town to have a dedicated staff. I've heard various opinions on that from other people. The sheriffs have done a good job in the past, but I'm open to that sort of thing as well. Yeah,
If appointed, what would be your top priority as a council member?
top priority would be to try to learn the process. Like I said, I've never been involved in anything like this, so I would be keeping my mind and heart open to input from you guys as we work through stuff and just to learn the process, basically, be my first priority.
You have any experience preparing, or reviewing, or overseeing a budget?
Just a household budget.
Mhm.
It's nothing in a job capacity now. But I'm pretty old, so I've got a decent amount of experience.
Live in a box, so you can pick, yeah.
Right. And I'm a pretty quick learner, so
What do you believe are the most pressing fiscal issues facing the town? And how do you think resources should be allocated to address them?
so as my understanding that the town, most of the money we get is through property taxes from the city.
Property taxes, sales tax. So, well, actually,
Sales tax.
Mostly
mainly sales tax. So if, I mean, I can give you percentages, but property tax makes up about 5 to 6%. Sales tax makes up about roughly 75%-ish.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
big.
So sales tax, on what, businesses that are here in the town.
So the way sales tax, here's your first lesson in government. The way sales tax.
I didn't know this.
I mean, either.
Me either.
Listed.
So
either.
the way sales tax work is based on population density. So it's not based on, a lot of people have the misconception that it's based on how many businesses are actually located within a municipality, but it's actually based on the population density. So theoretically, just giving you a theoretical here, but if you wanted to increase your actual sales tax revenue, building businesses isn't the path to that, though that may attract homes. It's actually families, homes, and permanent residents that raise your sales tax.
Okay, wow, I did not know that. Okay, well, you know, in my opinion, I know, I think the last time we were in, you guys asked about zoning for more business and stuff, and like I said, I've lived out here forever, and I do think the heart of Bar None is being a single residence, you know, town, a town of family homes in general, and there's always been some industry out here, which is a good thing, good mix as well, but I do think the most of our efforts, I feel like, should be to try to push that. Not so much. I know one of the fears that I've heard from some people is, oh man, they're gonna build a huge apartment complex over here or something. I would be definitely opposed to that. I think in general, I like the, you know, just single family homes. And to try to keep the town in that vein. So, yeah, whatever, like you said, I mean, if 70% of the revenue for the town comes from that type of thing, from increasing the residences, then that would make sense to keep it that way.
Is it my turn? Who asked the last question?
I think I asked last.
Did you?
Others.
Yep, it's mine. Sorry, I got lost in the sauce there.
Okay.
It is. It is.
Thank you.
Take you.
Matt, how do you envision the town's future and growth? Which we're kind of blending those two questions, but if you could dream it up, how would you see the town growing, right? So new business, maintain town's character, or a balance of both? What would that look like for you if you could have a perfect world?
Definitely a balance of both. But to keep the, you know, what the town has been for so long, which is what makes it so good, is the small town feel and the closeness. It seems, you know, a lot of the neighbors seem to know each other. And I know there's a lot of places in town that aren't like that. And so, but I am open to, you know, expanding business and that, if that's what's, you know, what's in the cards. You know, I've seen those big giant shops that they built on West Wind, and just thought, well, why would they build something huge and then it sits so empty for so long? So I don't know, you know, if that's it, if you guys have even any say in that really, or if developers just do what they're going to do. But
Depends on the zone.
Can we elaborate on that's part of Wyoming Business
A
Council?
little bit, yeah. It's,
yeah, I mean,
we have some say it, you know, there's zoning, there's permits, there's things of that nature, obviously, that we have a say in. And so, you know, the town does, you know, try to take a business friendly approach. At the same time, you know, we don't want, you know, to invite in businesses that would be untoward, you know, i.e. we don't want a strip club just north of town, because that would be not conducive to our family community. So, you know.
But what I was getting at, the difference is, it wasn't just some private entrepreneur went and built those. It was a partnership between a developer and the Wyoming Business Council from the state. There was no need for the buildings. It was for the possible future need through a business ready grant.
okay.
That's why they sit there.
Yeah.
It wasn't done through a proper free market process, in my opinion. That's why.
So in the case that, let's say, a vape shop or something wanted to build out here, how would you, as a town council person and a mayor, how would you be able to upend that plan?
That's a pretty hard one, because when you look at it, when, you know, speaking constitutionally and about rights, you can't show favoritism. right? So you can't be like, oh, well, I don't like you, so you don't get to come here. Sorry. That's not how the Constitution, that's not how the law works. And so you don't get to just pick and choose. If you don't want things like that, the easiest route to do that though is through zoning. So if they come in, you know, like, go back to the strip club thing, right? Like they're trying to build a strip club and you say, well, we're not zoned for that. You need to change the zoning to get that. And, you know, that's the easiest answer for that. I mean, obviously you don't want something like that in town though.
Yeah.
So you want to maintain the small town feel and the family character of this, then you're obviously, you do have some say, but you do also have legal boundaries. And, you know, that's where, you know, our attorney comes in and also, you know, you do talk about counsel, about your avenues that you can take with that. So, I mean, that's kind of around, I don't want to make it a political answer. I'm not trying to make it that way. I'm just saying the easiest way is through zoning, but you can flat out just be like, no, right? If you think it's really bad, you could just be like, no, okay, we're not doing that today. Have a nice day. So anyway,
If it's in city.
does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's complex though.
It's not an easy answer because like I said, there are boundaries that we have to operate within.
Yeah.
And that we can't, like, you can't just tell somebody, I don't like you, go away. There has to be
And that's
reason.
the gamble, or that's the danger of flat out saying no to something that's taking a legal approach to something. That's why we have an attorney too. It can open up the lawsuit if you're gonna do that, pick winners and losers based on,
Yep.
you know, stepping on their rights. If they're not doing anything nefarious, you know, they might come back at you. So it's tough making those decisions.
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of discussion.
Well, it segues into the next questions.
Yeah, it does.
When faced with a controversial issue, how would you approach gathering information?
Go ahead. No, it's,
Boy, what
what's
I'm reading
what's done is done.
Peter,
It's done is done.
you can
I'll
do the
take the next,
one.
I'll do the next one.
You guys have talked so long, I thought you would ask.
Given my point, don't they?
Yeah, it's always turning. I would try to really just keep an open mind, try to think about my own biases and ego, looking into that stuff. Again, being a little more of less of a spring chicken, I think helps in that because I've had enough life experience to have my ego checked many times. And so I think that helps, just being a little more mature. But yeah, just I think being aware of your own personal biases, stuff when you're dealing with that.
Perfect.
We'll really screw him up.
Can I go
You
now?
Then, yeah.
It's okay.
Well, okay.
Can you provide an example of how you have handled criticism or disagreement in the past?
Yeah, but I'm a blue collar worker, so the only criticism usually that I face is from management. Generally I try to be humble about it and see it from their side of things. A lot of times it's easy to get emotional about it and to take it personal, but I think if you can try to put yourself in the other person's shoes, you might actually be able to see it from their perspective and be able to see maybe some of your own fault.
Now is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn, man.
Can you describe a time you had to make an unpopular or difficult decision for the long-term benefit?
Yeah, I mean, maybe some small things in our family that were somewhat unpopular, but I think at the same time they knew that it was probably for the best. Nothing major though. I'm a working stiff, so I don't make a whole lot of decisions in my work life. But yeah.
This is a good one. How do you balance listening to individual concerns while making decisions that are best for the whole community? And I can understand, like you said, your family leadership, but you know, being at work, you're not in like upper management. But so imagine sitting in this seat and we have to make a decision that not everybody's happy with. How would you handle that situation?
Because you know, you hear it all the time, you kind of hear the general consensus on a certain issue, but then there's always you're never going to agree with everybody at the same time. It's just never going to happen. So it's really tough to deal with that. But I think just being honest in those situations and really trying to understand everything about the issue that you're dealing with, and in an honest way, try to make the best decision and really explain that you're trying to make the best decision.
All right. What qualities or experience make you the best candidate for this position?
Well, I already said just life experience, and I've had a lot of different job experience, a lot of different personal experience in life. Mainly, this town is my home and it has been for my whole life. And so I really care about this town. I really love it. My roots are deep here and I'm not leaving. So I'd say if there was one thing, that would be it. Everything that I do, if I get the position, would be to do my very best job to do what's best for Barnum, to work with you guys, to learn all these crazy little nuances about this. I mean, just even talking to you guys tonight, it opens up a can of worms of just how complex this whole thing is. It's crazy. There's just so much to it. But just the fact that I care so much about Barnum genuinely, and my sole purpose would be to do what's right.
Appointed, how do you plan to get up to speed on your responsibilities?
Networking with you guys, just in communication with you guys, asking questions, listening. I'm a really good listener, so a good learner. So whatever knowledge you guys are going to drop on me, I will absorb.
Right. What information do you believe residents most often feel they lack? And what do you think is the most effective way to communicate that information?
Well, we've always had the little letter that's sent out every month, and that's kind of, I guess, the old school way. That's the way it's always been. But maybe just increasing our social media presence somehow, having like maybe a digital town square of some sort that you could update in real time, and maybe you could have a live stream of the meetings even, so more people could be involved in that. Probably just using the modern methods more, maybe.
Technology.
Yeah, and that's a tough one because, man, it's hard to get interested in this sort of thing. I think it comes with maturity. You know what I mean? When you're young, you want to watch the football game, you want to, get off work and just go numb, not think about anything. It's a tough sell. So, the older residents here, they're going to be in the know. They're going to want to be more involved. And, younger people, it's going to take time for them to even want to seek that. So I would say it's probably, yeah. I don't even know. I know we have a website, but whether or not we have anything active on social media,
We do. We have a Facebook page. So, and I think we have a YouTube channel.
Pretty sweet.
Yep. So, yes.
do you guys put that in the letter? So it's, somebody could scan a QR and get there, or?
It's a good idea.
That's not a bad
We
idea.
have a Facebook page on the newsletter, but the QR is a good idea.
Yeah, just something that makes it easy for somebody to go,
We've
okay.
got 7 followers, so
7.
Are we up to 7?
doing pretty good. Say we're sort of a big deal.
Barcode's good. Yeah. That's me. Have you ever previously served on a governing body, board, or committee?
Said. And student council.
Lucky.
Very unlike, I've had friends, Tom Walters, I went to school with him. So he was in student council from junior high, elementary, high school, all the way up. So I'm the opposite of that. I haven't been involved in any kind of politics at all.
Okay, so this next question is more of a kind of a philosophical question. So just to kind of prepare your mind for it. So it's not as hard and fast. It's more of a how you feel, I guess.
You really build this question.
I like this question.
It makes him nervous.
Well, I'm not trying to make you nervous. I'm just asking.
You'd be nervous.
Brings the seriousness of
We're shifting gears here, okay? You don't have to
Okay.
quiet over.
it's the
That's
serious.
your last question. You ask your last question. All right, anyway. Ignore Councilman Figan.
Just warning.
If selected, you will swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. What does that oath mean to you personally?
Well, I very much agree with what the founding fathers originally tried to form here. And I think to conserve that is the most important thing we can do to preserve what this town is, what the city of Casper is, and then all the way out to the entire country. I think it's an important thing to try to conserve and not to just ignore the Constitution, which seems to have been what has happened in recent past a lot. It seems like, hey, it's right here on paper, you can't do that, and yet it all gets ignored. So it's really important to me.
And last question. Do you have any questions for us?
A million, really. I can't think of anything specific. But, so are most of the meetings, they run about an hour, but then the budget sessions last 2
Here's your answer.
So it really depends on the meeting. I mean, hey, honestly, Mike, it just varies on how much we have. Like it usually our longest meeting is our first meeting of the month because that's when we're doing most everything. And then the second meeting is usually shorter. It depends on whether we have executive sessions. It depends on whether it's coupled with a work session. But usually I'd say our meetings probably average about an hour to an hour and a half. Recently, if you took out the executive sessions, our meetings have actually been about 40 minutes, which is not bad, but you couple in the executive session and, we get to talking about a topic and it can run an extra 30 minutes. So
There's check signing and stuff. It's about 15 minutes each
Yeah.
night too. And
so there's check signing and there's other things, but I would say it probably averages to between an hour to an hour and a half.
To not get disappointed, I schedule, if we have work sessions, I usually meet, from 6 to 7 or 6:30 to 7. So every other Tuesday, I just bank out from 6 to 9 PM is when I'm going to be at council.
that's what he tells his wife.
Yeah. I know.
I know that about you.
Yeah, that's right. Shocking.
Questions?
Can I expect to, at the end, like by serving this, 11 months, could I expect to be a millionaire by the end of that? Like,
You get another job.
Well, we need Radiant to come back into town.
Oh my gosh.
maybe multi-millionaires. and-
If only it works that way, because I'm still broke.
There's an app,
So-
there's an app that follows Pelosi's trades. Now, I heard that came out that is supposed to be like, it trades what she trades and you're supposed to make millions off it. So maybe that.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
I think she's out of it.
No, answer.
That's just no.
You're going to be just as broke as when you started.
Great question.
Definitely something.
If you, yeah,
As we want to do it.
yeah,
It's not,
this is a labor of love.
yeah.
That's
It's awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks, sir. If we do choose, well, either way, we'll let you know. So you will be notified of whether, we chose you or not. And it should be by this Monday. And then what so if it is you, it'll be at this next coming up Tuesday that we'll swear you in. So, just kind of a timeline of where we're gonna be at with the whole thing.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Water.
Yeah.
You didn't even need it.
Thank you very much, Doug.
Not here yet? I'm gonna answer this email.
I told Ashley, I was like, I don't know if you can call this a vacation. She goes, it was awesome. It was an insane amount of driving. Probably awesome. They're right now. Give me 30 seconds and you're calling me. I just gotta finish this email real quick. Is that buzzing? Does that buzz every single time?
It's struggling.
It's like, it's
Starting
driving.
out, lighting up.
Yeah.
Will this be on our YouTube channel?
Well, that was the plan, if I can get it to work.
How you doing, sir?
Where?
I'm good. How are you, man?
Good, are you?
You have the hot seat. Feel free to sit down and we'll get rolling. So, Mayor Boyer, you've met me before. Councilman Martin, Councilman Sabrowski, and Councilman Ficken. So, welcome to the party. We're gonna ask you a bunch of questions and grill you.
Okay.
Just kidding. No, this is not a right or wrong thing. It's just answer it to the best of your ability, and there's no right or wrong in it. And we'll just go round robin. So I'll start out, and then we'll just go around, and we'll each ask you questions until we're done, and there you go. So, if you're ready. Okay. All right. So what motivated you to seek appointment to this open town council seat?
Well, when I prior to moving to Barnum, I checked around at different fire departments, and that's kind of my public service background. I was about a year and a half into living in Barnum. I found the fire department. I was on there for a year, and then I applied with about 11 months ago. I reapplied under the new interim chief Sahara, and they had said they had found something in my background. But anyway, so I figured since that didn't pan out, that when this opportunity came available, that I would. I was trying to figure out other ways that I could serve the citizens of Barna, and I thought this might be a possible opportunity to help serve the citizens and kind of serve in kind of a little bit of a capacity and help out with see the town grow and that kind of thing. So,
Perfect.
Are there any work or personal commitments that would prevent you from regularly attending town council sessions?
I do have about 1 or 2 times a month where I do have to travel out to Fremont County. I'm a commercial service technician for a local repair company. So there's a possibility there could be conflict with that once in a while, but I can work with my dispatch to kind of work and have that work kind of go around that if need be.
Is that overnight?
Yeah.
They have to, okay.
Yeah.
Good, Dan.
All right. Do you have any actual or potential conflicts of interest that could arise if you are appointed to this position?
Like I said, I do have some, I worked with the Councilman Martin in the past, and did like a Sunday movie night, and I like help facilitate when I was on the fire department and help set up and anything if they needed help facilitate that, and so did quite a bit of stuff in the community and I really enjoy doing it. It was kind of unfortunate. I'd hoped to get back in the public service aspect, but for whatever reason, that didn't work out, so. But I think living here in the area, which is kind of a prerequisite, that available pretty frequently outside of my work hours.
What are, Chris, what are some of your thoughts on current or upcoming town projects in regards to rezoning certain areas of town, police department needs, or road projects?
Well, I mean, there's always gonna be, the police department, I know it's always been, Natrona County's kind of done that facet, but anytime, a community grows, that's another facet that can, as the town grows, there's a need for, that interaction with law enforcement to help take care of things locally. So it might save some money that, the town is paying, Natrona County to help cover those areas of the community service type of thing. So, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, if appointed, what would be your top priority as a council member?
Probably my big thing is kind of, kind of stepping back and seeing, that, I would kind of work with the other members of town council to work with them as in a group effort of needs in the community. As I saw in the past that there's like a street revitalization project coming up, and so that's part of growth. So they say that two heads are better than one, so we could have a group effort to help the community expand, and if we have new residents that move in, or if there's any like zoning things that I think the urban growth boundary is kind of as far north as it can go to my knowledge. But answer your question, I would just kind of work with all the rest of town council to kind of facilitate ideas that community members would have that they brought to town council, and I'll work as a.
Is it me?
Yeah, it's you, man.
Making sure this time. Do you have any experience preparing, reviewing, or overseeing a budget?
Not particularly. I mean, the only thing that I've done at a previous employer, I ordered like parts and things and kept track of inventory of like shop inventory and service vehicle inventories, and we had a running cost of what parts cost and what customers were charging, that kind of thing.
Right. What do you believe are the most pressing fiscal issues facing the town, and how do you think resources should be allocated to address them?
I think the most pressing thing is that like when a community member brings something to town council, I know that we've like upgrading the park, and I saw folks bring ideas about that to help improve the playground quality. I know that personal experience with the some of the, I don't know how old the water piping is coming into town and that thing, but so there's probably different things that I'm not aware of that that would need like replacement down the road, like infrastructure or.
if you could have the perfect world, how do you envision the town's future and growth? Do you want it to attract new businesses, maintain the town's current character, or a balance of both? And if so, what does that look like for you?
Well, I think it would be really beneficial for the town if we could get some businesses like maybe like a hotel where we could get guests coming in when we have big events. And that would be some more income revenue for the town to expend on the expenditures and different things that as we do different town projects, that could be another. It would also bring, if we could get, grow the town and get more residents, that'll also bring a little bit better tax base.
Thank you.
Right on. When faced with a controversial issue, how do you approach gathering information and making a decision?
The big thing is in any group, there is a, like you, Mayor Boyer, you're kind of in charge of the town council, so usually we go to a superior and bring it to an idea, just to that way we can work together to solve a problem if there is one, rather than jumping that chain of command, so that we can get resolution and get ideas of how to, if that situation were to pop up in the future, of how to mitigate before it becomes a big problem. So.
Kind of bosses.
You deserve it.
Can you provide an example of how you have handled some criticism?
I mean, I'm not perfect, but
None of us.
and I've like last year when I got the letter from Chief Sahara, I'd been a volunteer since 1997, and I have a lot of respect for Chief. Him and I've been on a couple of calls together, and I remember one call where I was at the station and it was just me and him that responded to a call. So when I had gotten a letter they had found something in my background, but because it wasn't a waiver that I had signed, I wasn't able to find out what that was. So being out of the public service realm, that was really hard for me. So I prayed long and hard about it, and when God closed that door, I just had to kind of, that when he closes one door, eventually another one will open somewhere. So that was probably the hardest thing after being in public service for since 1997. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, boss.
All right, can you describe a time you had to make an unpopular or difficult decision for long-term benefit?
I think the hardest thing was moving from Oregon, because I had been with the Lowell firefighter, was a veteran firefighter. So moving from a place where you know everybody and your group of peers who you've worked with for 8 years, and packing a 26-foot moving truck, and my wife's family lives together. So that was really hard, moving away from that core group of people that I love working with. So change is hard, but sometimes it takes a while to adapt, but.
Right on.
Chris, how do you balance listening to individual concerns while making decisions that are best for the whole community?
I think the biggest thing is, and I deal with this every day, when you're, when you, someone who's got a concern, it's listen to everything they have to say before you start making any judgment or decision making. That way you have everything laid out, all of their concerns laid out prior to getting any preconceived ideas. That way, once everything's laid out, you know the best approach to take. That way you don't rush to any rash decisions.
That's good. Thank you.
If I can turn this page, there we go. What qualities or experiences make you the best candidate for this position?
Well, I like working with people and putting ideas out there to help folks. You know, on the political side of things, I don't have a whole lot of experience, but living in town, and that's a prerequisite, you know, that one of the, but I do, you know, like Councilman Martin, and you, Mayor Boyer, I've had some interactions with you guys when I was with the fire department, and so I thought that perhaps I might be able to strengthen that bond and maybe bring some ideas to help the town in the future. So that was kind of my main objective, was to see if there's any way that I could help the town.
If appointed, how do you plan to get up to speed on your responsibilities as a new council member?
So I'd have to meet with Mayor Boyer and find out what all those requirements are and the time frame to get those requirements up to speed.
What information do you believe residents most often feel they lack? And what do you think is the most effective way to communicate that information?
Question.
What information do you believe residents most often feel they lack? And what would be the best way to get them that information in our community? I mean, if you feel like the people haven't been getting the right amount of information, I mean, there's.
They can there's online. We have the town does a really phenomenal job of keeping residents up to date on happenings and current events going on. But if they could call via landline, or if it's something really pressing, that they could come in person to town hall and either drop a letter or speak to somebody directly if they have time. I know we all have busy schedules with work and stuff, so if they're so inclined, they could do like a voice call or come in person if they feel that they're not being they're kind of being put on the back burner per se.
Perfect.
I think you answered this already. And that's fine. It's not required, but have you served on a governing body, board, or committee before?
When I was with Lowell Fire Battalion 23, I was executive secretary.
Okay. Thank you.
What was that? What was that?
Your secretary.
Thank you.
It was
Battalion what?
it was Battalion 23 with Lowell Fire.
23. Oh, yeah. Cool. All right. Last question for me. This is the second to last question. This is more of a philosophical question. So we're switching gears a little bit. Was that deep enough?
I don't know why you're asking if I'm asking.
Curious. If selected, you will swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. What does that oath mean to you personally?
Well, the oath is when you're sworn to do something that you uphold every facet of that Constitution, and the job that you're elected to do as on any local governing body.
Last one. Ready? Got any questions for us?
At this point.
Not a single one?
Right on. Well, thank you, Christopher or Chris?
Chris is fine.
Chris. Okay. Well, thank you, Chris, for coming in and showing your interest in the council seat and for answering the questions. I know this can be a little bit intimidating, and you did good. I know that both Tim and I have been through the process, and it was hard. So if we do choose you, or if we don't, we'll let you know. We'll make a decision, and we'll notify you probably by about Monday. And then if we do choose you, you'll come in hopefully, or we should have you in on the next Tuesday, or that next coming up Tuesday. So whenever that is, I don't know what the date is. Anyway, so the next Tuesday of our council meeting, and that would be when you're sworn in. So anyway, other than that, you are free to go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Have a good evening.
We have to adjourn.
I would say so. It's one thing you like. See? Is that what you meant by opening it up? Oh, never mind. I thought you said open it up. Remember?
You wanted to present? Did you want to hear from people in the crowd?
Yeah, that's what
Oh, you're saying for, oh,
Yeah.
I got you now. It's not on the agenda, but Councilman Martin has counseled me to open it up to the crowd, and that if anyone has anything that I would like to keep it positive. So let's just, if you have anything that you would like to say about the candidates, feel free to say it now. Otherwise, forever hold your peace.
Personally, I thought candidate number one presented herself very well. And I think, in my personal opinion, I thought she was the best qualified out of the three, based on the answers that she gave.
Fair. Thank you. Fair. Thank you.
Okay, it's his fault.
It's anyone else? Going once, going twice, sold. The highest bidder. All right, I will entertain a motion to exit regular session and go to executive session. Word.
so moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? Here, none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Kelly, if you'll take roll call.
Peter Boyer, Mayor.
Present.
Tyler Martin, Council.
Present.
Sue Picken, Council. Dan Zabrowski, Council.
Still present.
Perfect. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion here? And all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?